Hello beautiful people, I welcome you to another tutorial. My name is Partner. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that anytime I upload a video you'll be notified. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a senator top. Yes, a senator top. And here the measurement I have the top length measurement, which will be 32, the sleeve length 10 inches, the round sleeve measurement is 11, the round neck measurement is 16, the shoulder is 16, the waist is 28, the chest measurement is 32, and the hip measurement is 36. So for when you're cutting for a guy, unlike the female, you have to put all these measurements in place, especially the bust, waist and the hip. But for a guy, it's not necessarily you work with the biggest part of the measurement, which could be the chest or the stomach, if someone that has a protruding tummy, or probably the hip. So what I'm working here now is the biggest part of the measurement, which is 30. But before that, I will mark my horizontal line. As you can see, I've already mapped it out. I hope you can see this as much as I use a contrasting color, I hope you can see this line very well. Now, one thing you should note that for a senator top, the back part is usually higher. The back neckline is usually higher than the front neckline. I repeat, the back neckline is usually higher than the front neckline. And so what I'm going to do here, taking my measurements, my vertical measurements, usually when I'm cutting a top, I will place my tape on the beginning part and start taking the armhole line, the waistline. But in this case, I'm going to be taking away 2 inches. I'm taking away 2 inches. 2 inches from the front measurement. These 2 inches, I am going to put it back when I'm cutting out the back measurement. Okay, yes, so I'm going to place these 2 inches on this mark here. Now if you see here at the beginning of this top, I already mapped out about half an inches here. Now this half inches is the allowance I'm going to use to join it to the back part. So I am placing my 2 inches on this mark here. Okay, I'll start counting my horizontal measurement from this line. So from here, having my 2 inches here, I'll take my horizontal measurements. Here I have 9 inches, which is the armhole line. Here 17 inches, which is the waistline. Here 24 for the hip line, and here 32 inches, which is the full length of the top. Then I have an extra 2 inches here as well, which is the hemming allowance on the lower side. Now I have drawn out the line already. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, like I said, I'll work with the biggest part of the measurement, which is 36. I will divide it by 4. I have 9 inches. So I'm going to place my 9 inches here, map it out, put a sewing allowance of 1 inch, and also a sewing allowance of 1 inch and an ease allowance of about 1.5 inches. Okay, that makes it 2.5 inch. Just mark my 2.5 inch. I'll apply the same thing everywhere. 9 inches with extra 2.5 inch. So I'm just placing the whole measurement, exact measurement, all the way down. 9 inches and 2.5 inches. 9 inches and 2.5 inches. The same thing to the hem line, and that's it. So the next thing I'll do is to connect the lines. The only thing I'll do is on this waistline, I will just go in by 0.5 inch here. The reason why I'm doing this is just to have a little bit of slant inwards, because obviously the human body is not straight, just to give it that little bit of shape. Okay, I'll just go in by 0.5 inch, about 0.5 inch from the waistline. It's 0.5 inch. So connect it back to the bust line here and to the hip line here. Okay, now at this point I'm going to bring another piece I will use in cutting out the back part. I'll just place it on each other. First of all, what I'm going to do now is to get my shoulder slope. Okay, as you can see, I have placed this. Let me go down so that you can see this properly. So this is the beginning of it. This is the 1/2 inch for the front part, remember. So what I want to get now is to get my shoulder slope, and I'll do a shoulder slope of about 1.5 inch. It's okay. I'll just take it down to 3 inches here. Then I'll cut out with my slope down. So now that I have the shoulder slope, like I said, we took away 2 inches from this front part. We're going to put it back at the back part, which means the back part at this point now is going to be higher by 4 inches, or 4.5 inches rather. So I'm just marking 4.5 inches all the way. And remember, the front line, still put that 1/2 inches properly for the hemming allowance at the up part. Okay, 4.5 inches. Okay, so if you place this, place the front to the back now and fold this way. 4.5 inches. I'm just placing this front one on the line of that, just to guide us properly here. Okay, then I fold this way. Now my folding is touching the 1/2 inch I've already marked out on the front side. I hope you can see this, guys. You can see this. So there's it. So that 2 inches we took away is already here now at the back side. So by the time we finish joining, then the shoulder will come down. Okay, that's the essence of this. The neck width to be working it is 3 inches here, and the neck depth about 3 inches as well. So what I'm going to do now, we'll do 2.5 inches will be fine. So what I will do now is, before cutting out, I will just cross check just to be sure, because remember that our round neck is 16 inches. We wouldn't want to go beyond that. So I'll just place my tape rule this way. You can see this. And here, taking it round this way, I have 8 inches. Okay, multiply by 2, that's 16 inches, which is equivalent to the neck line. Okay, so this will be the neckline I'll be working with. back armhole first. Take it off, then cut the front armhole. So for the sleeve, I have this piece. I'm cutting both for the two sleeves. Okay, so here I have about 12.5 inches here. From here to this mark line is 10.5 inches. The sleeve length actually is 10 plus half inches to join it at the upper part. Then 2 extra inch below is the hemming allowance. Okay, and the armhole is 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9 inches. The cap height about 4 inches is okay. So on this line I map out the armhole measurement divided by 2, which is 9, add an extra 1 inch. Okay, then from here I curve it, take my inverted S and bring it all the way down. Remember when we measured the armhole on the borders, we had about 12 inches, so you might want to cross check just to be sure you have the exact thing here and here, and we also have about 12 inches, so it's perfect. Then on this part we take the round sleeve measurement, which is 11 divided by 2, that is 5.5, save about 1.5 inch extra allowance. Okay, so I'll just join it. Okay, so now I can cut. This is the hem line, and we want to notch it. That's where we'll be folding the sleeve inwards. Okay, and that's it. Now for the front piece, we'll have to get an opening on the front side about 5 to 6 inches. 6 inches is moderate, especially for an adult. 6 inches is moderate. We're going to be creating a placket afterwards, so I'll just, from this neckline I go in by 6 inches. Okay, make sure that it's properly folded because you are cutting from the center of this fold. Just give an opening. Inwards. And it's okay. We have an opening here. The plackets will be longer than this, as much as say 10 inches or thereabout, to cover it up. Okay, then for the back piece I want to also create a yoke for the back piece. So I also have it, the back borders folded into 2. This is the fabric I'm using to create the yoke. I'll just place it directly on it this way. Then from the neckline I map out, from the neckline get about 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches, or 5 inches, or let's do 5.5 because of for the folding. So from this neckline here at the back, I'll map out 5.5 inches here. Okay, trace it out. Okay, so taking note of this 5.5 inches we have marked there. just go. So this is where we are cutting out. Okay, it's gonna be straight, but because I just want the yoke to have a little bit of a triangle at the edge. Okay, so I can, from this point, I'll just do, maybe go half an inch here. From here I'll connect it to this point here, so it can give it a little bit of slant. You can see. So I cut out now. So you can see this is the yoke for the back. So we're just going to place it this way. This way. Okay. So when I'm sewing, I'll fold it inwards here, and this way. Okay. So that's going to be the yoke for the back. Then for the plackets, I'll get a long strip of about 10 inches, because the opening we cut at the front there was 6 inches. So to cover it up properly, 10 inches is moderate for the placket. So what I'm going to do is to cut a strip of 4 inches, 4.5 or 5 inches. Okay, fold it into two this way. I'm just demonstrating with this. Fold it into two this way, then make a stitch. Okay, make a stitch, and that's it. Flip it to the other side. So at the end of the day, you're having something like this. By the time you fold it, turn it to the other side, you have something like this. 4 inches will be okay for this. And when you're done, all you need to do is to place it. You must have cut facing for this one as well, just to close up these edges. Okay, after that you just place the plackets here. If you like, you can put a little bit of interface in there. Just place it on it this way and sew it on it, and that's it. You're only going to sew on one side. You sew on one side and lock it up at the point where you have that opening. Okay, and that's it. Then you can decide to put a pressing button just to hold it. Okay, so what I will do, I'll go to the sewing machine, join the pieces together, and I'll come back to show you how it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the close up of the neckline. This is the facing from the front side, the 6 inches slit we have. I turn it with facing. I also hemmed it to give it a neat finishing. Here is the front. Okay, then the neckline as well. I've attached the yoke we cut out. You can see this, how it looks. Okay, then the sleeve as well. I've hemmed the down part of the sleeve. All I need to do is to attach it, and also the down part of the bodice, I've also done that. Then I have here a long strip of about 10 inches. First of all, I measure the neckline this way so that I can hem it. I've joined the shoulder, so the next thing to do is to measure the neckline round to this point. Whatever I get, I cut out a strip of about 1.5 inch, which I'm going to use to cover up this neckline. Okay, so after that, after I've done with the neckline, the next thing I'll do is to attach my placket. I have this little strip I showed you earlier. I've turned it to the other side, giving it a good press. So after I've covered up the neckline, the next thing I'll do is to attach it. Okay, attach it this way, and put probably a pressing button or maybe a loophole to be able to open up whenever the person is wearing it. So that is, we're almost done with it. When that is done, I will just attach my sleeve and close up the body, and that will be all. The senator top will be ready. So when I'm done with this, I'll come back and show you the finishing touch of this. So guys, the senator is ready, all done, and this is the placket. I added this instead of the pressing button, or whichever one you prefer. And on the down part, I did about 7 inches slit from the down part on both sides, this side and on the other side. So that's it, guys. So on another video, I'm going to show you how to make the pant trouser. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you on the next video. Bye.